Hello, ladies. Welcome to A Woman's Heart, where we uplift, motivate, encourage, and empower women. We are glad that you are joining us on tonight. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media outlets. That is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also, ladies, make sure you ask your questions and leave some comments. Join in on the conversation. You are here to be a part of this sisterhood. All right, we'll be on shortly. Check out the website toawomansheart.com. Stay tuned. We're coming up next.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of To a Woman's Heart, where we uplift, motivate, encourage, and empower women. And we're back for part two of the expectations of a woman. And I got to tell you, the conversation that we just had was very interesting. And so we're going to bring you in on this conversation. So my sister Nanette is going to give you a scenario, and then we're going to have discussions about this conversation. So please share.
Okay. There was this, if you all listen to the Strawberry Letter, I don't know how many heard it this morning, where this lady wrote in and she said she was on a cruise 4 months ago. She met this guy. They were talking or whatever. And then 4 months later, she moved the man into her house or to our apartment. Well, eventually it comes out that the guy has another girl who he has gotten pregnant. Not only does he have this other lady who's carrying his baby, he's also married as well. So the lady, the husband, well, the boyfriend / husband, has the wife come live with them in this apartment because the wife loses her job, and apparently the wife, for whatever reason, was staying with her mama. I don't know what that's about, but and so she's having some issues with. She wants this man, wanted to know what could she do so this man could be completely hers. And we're all just totally confused, like, okay, what? Because every time you thought it got bad, it got even worse than the last one, they would say. And so we're just thinking, what kind of woman, it seems to me that this woman has expectations that she has no right to. First of all, the man is already married, number one. Number two, you brought this man into your home after knowing him for only 4 months. Who do that? Where do you do that at? But again, she wants to know, how can she get this man for herself? There's no way to get this man for yourself. I mean, the man didn't say he was going to get divorced or he was going to leave his wife, although the wife is there with him and you as well.
Well, first, let me, okay. So here is my thing. You meet this man and you don't ask no questions.
Apparently
none
not.
whatsoever. So you expecting that this man is single, he ain't tied to nobody, he don't have no kids, he don't have none of that, right? You have not checked out nothing about this man, period. And then you decide 4 months later to move this man into your apartment. And then you realize that this man has a wife.
Mm-hmm.
And then you turn around and introduce this woman to the wife.
Right.
So it's two things for me. First of all, it's the single lady who don't ask no questions. What are your expectations?
Right.
So you just thinking, I just want a man to be in my life. I don't care if he's married. I don't care what he is.
Right.
It's okay for whatever you are. I'm going to accept that.
Right.
Then secondly, when you introduce the side piece to the wife, well, what is her expectation? She's okay with sharing your man?
Apparently the wife was okay with it too. She was about it.
What do you think, Denise?
I think that the man is trying to be in a polygamous relationship. I just told y'all that. That's what I legit think. I think that he's trying to be in a polygamous relationship and that he didn't have this conversation with the wife, because I'm a wife. There's no way Brian is going to come to me and be like, yeah, I'm living with Betty Boop over there. No, if we married over here, so to me, so like the husband has had a conversation with the wife. You go out, you hook, line, sink them, and then we come all in and be this big whatever you trying to be. Because now he done got Sarah over there. She pregnant, carrying his baby. You just the girlfriend they trying to add in the mix, and now you got the wife over here, and now she done lost her job. Now she got to move in with y'all. Asking you, is it okay if she move in with us? Because no, it's a no for me. So
well, it's a no for me too. But
I mean, but what do you think of yourself? I mean, you got to be kind of low to allow this to be. I mean, something is wrong with you to think it's okay to accept this kind of behavior. I mean, really, I'm not understanding it.
I'm not understanding either. Something has to be wrong somewhere down in the line, maybe from childhood. I don't know if the daddy was ever in this woman's life, and we kind of touched on that last week. Sometimes this is some of the things women go through. They're trying to find, if that father hasn't been in that girl's life or that woman's life. Well, she was a child, but now she's a woman life, and then now she's doing all this kind of crazy stuff that usually, in what I've seen, plays a part in that. And then, like you alluded to earlier as well, you just willing to do anything for love. You'll do anything. You'll accept anything. I mean, the man is not yours. He's already married. He belongs to the wife. He's not yours. So you can never have him for yourself because he's not yours.
And I don't know what made her think that she could even have him to herself. Sis, if you want the man to yourself, then you need to find you a man who wants you and only you alone.
Exactly.
Because clearly that's not what he wants. And she shouldn't have been writing a letter anyway, because if you want that, then you can do the easiest thing there is to do. But you can exit out of the relationship.
But doesn't that make you think of, okay, a woman meets a man, he sends her through all kind of change. Then she comes to find out he's got 3 or 4, 5 other women on the side. A couple of them got kids by him or whatever. But she keep going back and she keep going back. They kind of break up, go back together, break up, go back together. That type of deal.
I only got one good breakup in me, and that's it. And that's probably pushing it, to be quite frank. We're not gonna be on this emotional roller coaster where you in, you out, you in, you out, you in, you out. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, I could very well be wrong. But a man know what he wants. If he wants you, guess what he gonna do? He gonna make sure that he's doing everything to keep you, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying we all don't play the fool sometimes, because we all do that. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you as the woman, or we as women, have to get to a point where we be like, enough is enough. I'm done. And if you want to play, I just told somebody earlier, I don't understand why men feel like that. If you want to be single and you want to walk around the earth a million more times, then do that. Do that. Be honest. Like we said last week, be honest and do whatever it is that you want to do. Now, the guy was wrong, because you should have set your expectations up front. But what they do is, in my opinion, it's like a hook, line, sinker. I'm going to get you. I'm going to wheel you in, right? I'm going to wheel you in. That way, when I introduce all this stuff to you slowly, I already got you hooked. Now, because we are women, we emotional creatures, right?
Right.
So now I'm going to hook you in, right? I'm hooking you in. I'm hooking you in. That way, when we get a little bit further down the road, now you like, she'll probably take anything. And that's part of the problem, is that over the years, we've just taken anything almost.
Right. I mean, I definitely agree with you. Over the years, I don't know, some women would say, oh, it's a shortage of men. But I like to think that there's a shortage, unfortunately, of women with expectations.
I would agree.
Because I don't know what's happened to us as women down through the years. There was a time when we actually had values. Like you said, we did have expectations. There were just some things we wouldn't put up with. And now it's like, well, just to have a man, I got to put up with any and everything. And that's just not true. I've heard quite a few men said the woman is the prize. I'm the prize. I don't understand why a lot of women don't understand that you are the prize. I don't understand it. You have to have some expectations. You just can't date me for 10 years.
Sure can't date me for 10 years.
I mean, if I want to get married and that's what my goal is, my end game is, and that's not what you're interested in, well, I just wasted 10 years of my life. You can't get time back once it's gone. It's gone.
True.
Yeah, but when you don't realize who you are as a woman,
I agree. Yeah.
that plays a major part
It
in
does.
what you will accept and what you will not accept. And then women goes into, when they meet a man, you know, they look at the outside appearance, like he nice looking, he smell good, he look like he got a good job, and you don't dig deep. You don't know if this man married, you don't know if he's straight or gay or whatever he is. You don't know that.
Right. And you have to dig deep. It take more than, a week or 2 weeks. And like, so that's just the outer appearance. That's like a woman. You don't know if my hair's real, fake, is man, if I bought it though. You don't know any of that until you get to know me. You don't know how many kids I have, if I'm divorced, whatever. You know none of that until we start to talk and have a conversation, get to know one another. But that takes time. You're just not gonna learn that in 2 weeks or a month or whatever. That takes time to getting to know the person. And too many times I feel like women sometimes they go off look, okay, well, yeah, like you said, I think somebody, maybe Tammy alluded to it last week, he looked fine, he got a 6-pack, an 8-pack, he drive a Ferrari, he got a Mercedes-Benz truck. All that's fine, but that's outside show. For all you know, that could be his mama's Mercedes-Benz truck. You don't know that. Okay, yeah, he look good, but he might not have no job. So he got plenty of time to work out.
Right.
I'm just saying you have to account for all that. And then you have to ask yourself, what am I expecting? What does Nanette want out of a relationship? What is she looking for in a man? And be honest with yourself. If, like I said again, I'm dating for a purpose, to get remarried. If the guy, when I started dating, if he's not interested in that, I'm moving on. I'm not going to waste my time because we're on 2 different paths.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. And then it may be something that's in her history. You follow what I'm saying?
Could be.
I don't know what's in her history that will allow her to accept that kind of treatment, that she don't feel like she's worthy of somebody that she don't have to share. Because for me, if I find out later on down the line that you're married, that's an instant turn off for me.
Right.
And I'm definitely not moving your wife or anybody in my house. That's not going to happen.
Well, you're not finna move in with me after I just met you on the boat 4 months ago.
Yeah, I'm sorry. She ain't doing that neither. That's not going to happen. Well, not at all.
I definitely agree. But unfortunately, there's a lot of women out here that they have no expectations,
They don't. And that's the sad part.
Yeah.
We don't think of, up front what we looking for in a relationship. And then we accept anything that comes along for whatever the reason may be. They don't. And that's the sad part. Yeah. We don't think of, up front what we looking for in a relationship. And then we accept anything that comes along for whatever the reason may be. They don't.
It's crazy.
We don't think that's crazy to me. What we looking for in a relationship, and then we accept anything that comes along for whatever the reason may be. So it is. I don't know what.
Hey, ladies.
Hey, Tammy. So
Hello.
that's kind of deep for me. And then for the wife.
Yeah. I mean, it's just bad on all sides. It's bad for the woman who's pregnant with the child. It's bad for the I don't know, I guess the second side piece, I guess, girl. And then it's bad for the wife. The wife, you just okay with this? I mean, I understand why she living at her parents' house when you got a whole husband. I don't understand that. Wait.
No, let's not even talk about that. Let's talk about why the wife is okay with it.
Well,
Though.
yeah, you're
That's
right.
the
That's the
problem.
point. Why is the wife
Why
okay?
is the wife okay with
Why
the fact
okay?
that my husband feels like it's okay for him to introduce me to his side chick? Let's start there.
Right.
Let's not talk about her right now. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the expectations of this wife who's living with her mother when her husband, the person who's supposed to be her covering, is over there with Betty Sue, chilling.
Right.
That's the problem.
And then
That's a real problem.
add to that the third side piece is
It's
pregnant.
pregnant.
Wait, there's three? There's
Yeah, there's three.
Oh, I heard about the two, but there's a
It's
third.
three.
That's a third.
Three.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it goes back to what we said earlier. When you are dating, when you meet somebody,
Yes.
you need to know what your expectations are out of that individual.
Yes.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
You just can't come up to me. I don't care if I met you on a cruise ship. I don't care if I met you on the roof of this house. You just can't come up to me and we have casual conversation, and then 4 months later, I move you into my house. I don't know nothing about you. And then after that, you do a whammy and you tell me you got a wife.
You got a wife.
Not only do you have a wife, but you want your wife to move in my house. And then you add another mixture into there. You got another woman and she pregnant. But it ain't the wife who pregnant. And you want to be in relationship with this man. So it says to me, what is wrong with the woman in the mirror?
Wow.
Yeah.
And a lot of women out here have those issues. They just settle just for the sake of saying, I have a man.
Man.
And you're going to sell yourself short just for the sake of saying, I have a man. And not just sell it for that. He could be an abusive person. So just for the sake of saying, I have a man.
Yes.
Baby, and ain't nothing that good for me to risk my happiness and my peace of, okay, I don't care what you got. Okay? It's not that deep for me.
How old are these individuals? May I have an age range?
I don't think they said this morning how old they were.
Okay.
Let's go with mid-age. Let's go with mid.
Well,
Let's go.
listen, we don't have to go with no age because
It don't matter the age, I guess.
if you stupid, you're stupid.
True.
They ain't got no age range. Like immaturity don't have no age range.
True.
Immaturity.
I think that makes a lot of sense, but I also think like if it's a younger generation, maybe even my generation and just under me, it's more of a everything that they do. Most people, not most people, but some people is just because it's cute or it's a thing. So it's not necessarily about like settling down and yes, this is my man and this is my covering. And some people have no idea of what that entails, right? It's more about what's cute, what's a fad. Oh yeah, this is my sister wife. Like it's more about what's hip and what's cool. It's not until you get a little older and a little bit more mature that you start thinking about the way that things really should be.
Okay, put a pin. Put a pin right there. Put a pin right there. Because I'm going to interject this conversation. So, say it is an older individual. They passed 55. We're going to say past 55. They rolled over into the higher numbers. And they have not been in relationship physically with somebody for a long time. And then they meet somebody that is younger than they are.
Mm-hmm.
And you thinking that because they're interested in you, they're interested in you for the right reason. But you don't have no idea of what dating entails in 2021.
Right.
Because dating back in 1950 is totally different than dating is in 2021. Mm-hmm. And the first thing, what happens when you tell a man that you have not had sex in over 10 years, it becomes a challenge.
Yes.
It is not about liking you or loving you. My challenge is to see if I can get in them draws and free your
conquest.
That's what it is. Right. But you think as a woman, because you're getting all this attention, that this individual likes you and they love you. And that's not what that is. And you do all the things for the person thinking that you're in a relationship, but you haven't classified it as a relationship, but you're doing the things like you are in a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. I mean, a man he's going to put in work for something that he wants. But I think that we just have to have a better sense of discernment.
Right.
What is it that he wants? Is it just this or is it this? Like,
Right.
you have to be better at sifting through those intentions. And I mean, honestly, you say dating now is a lot different than it was in 1950. When I think about it, like, I can remember having conversations with my grandmother years ago before I was even, probably well into adulthood. And I would ask her, like, how did you stay with granddaddy so long? Like, I would ask her these types of questions. And she would make, comments like, I had a boyfriend. Or she would say, like, I know you knew that he had kids, like, on the other side of the road. Like, how was it that you dealt with that? So I guess in hindsight, when you really think about it, we do have ancestors who knew that their husbands and their spouses weren't always as faithful. But what did they do? They honored the word of God and they honored their marriage, stuck on in there. So is that much different than what people doing now? Kind of, sort of, because some of these people ain't even married, ain't never gonna be married. They're just doing it, right? To be doing it. So I don't know. I guess now I am a little torn. Some of it we can definitely say, well, the majority of it we can definitely say is due to lack of self-esteem, lack of self-awareness, lack of confidence, those types of things. But then on the other hand, maybe it's what they've seen. Maybe they've seen their grandparents or their parents go through it. So it's just,
you know what, you're right, because my grandma was like that. You right. The only difference I think now is that they were more discreet about it, right?
Yeah.
They were more private about it versus now it's like if I'm dating your man and we in a room together, now I feel like I got one up on you because I done been with your man and let you look at me the wrong way. It's on because now I'm finna pull it all out versus back then, if Sarah slept with, Ed crossed the road. Now everybody know that Sarah didn't slept with Ed across the road, but ain't nobody gonna say
bring her butt over to you.
And even Sarah didn't has, now Sarah got a baby by Ed. Ed got a wife over here with 8,000 kids over here with her. And the wife, no. She ain't said little Bo Peep and Sauce and Sheep. So tell me, you're right.
I mean, when I start thinking about it, I'm like,
you're right.
I know for me, it will never be for me. It will never be for she right here. Would never be for me.
Right.
Plus,
I think also you have to throw in, and we've talked about this before, you have to clarify. And I think as women sometimes, because if you're a woman that hasn't been in a relationship in 20, 30 years and now you've run up on this man that you got these deep, deep feelings for, you're too afraid to clarify because what if it's one-sided?
Yeah.
What if I'm all in and he only half in or a quarter in or he ain't in at all? He just in it to get what he can get out of it and bounce. So a fear a lot of times, it's like most things for a lot of us, even women, it can paralyze you into, well, I'm just going to keep on this road with the hope, well, he eventually going to say and clarify what it is that we, you my woman, we're in a relationship.
But look, closed mouths don't get fed.
They don't.
If we in a relationship, I need to know what this relationship, you need to define this thing for me. Define it. I need to know, is we screwing buddies?
Right. Friends with benefits?
Friends with benefits.
I agree with that.
This relationship going to something else. So some of this ownership falls on us.
It does.
Because that man cannot do anything unless we allow it to be so.
True.
And then the next thing is when women have been in a relationship and they haven't healed, and that man has broken them and told them, you ain't nobody gonna never want you. I'm the best thing that you ever had. So when the next person come along, give them a little attention, then they expecting he really like me.
Right.
But he really don't. He's just trying to get out you where he can get out you like the rest of them knuckleheads.
So let me ask you this. At what point in dating and when you're out having a good time and things are progressing, at what point do you feel like you would have that conversation? Because some people have that conversation up front, like when you see that things are getting serious and you see we spend a little bit more time. That's a me, because I need to know. Paint this picture for me, sir. I need to know. Some
Right.
people wait a little bit longer, like Auntie Nettie said, because of fear, or I don't really want to seem like I'm pushing you, or I don't want to, I'm cool with whatever we doing. Like, so at what point do you think is a good midpoint to kind of set the stage and have that conversation?
Look, for me, I'm coming out the gate. I'm no holds barred. You gonna know what you getting up front, and I want to know what I'm getting up front, because I don't want you wasting my time. See, a lot of people just want to waste your time, so we can kill this right at the beginning. So you let me know what you, if this gonna be friends with benefit, I'm gonna tell you bye bye, so long, see you.
Right.
Now, if you want to go a little bit further, then we can pace this thing. But a lot of these men, they already know. They looking at you. They look at, when they find out you a certain age too, and you still single. Then they think, oh yeah, I got me a sugar mama and all sugar hell. You ain't got nothing here. Kick rocks, and I don't have a problem with that. I don't.
Well, I agree for the most part. I mean, out the gate, but I mean, if I've met a guy and maybe we going out maybe once or twice, you know, let's first, I gotta find if I even like you first, because sometimes, you know, you can go out with somebody, it's like, I'm one and done.
Right.
It's over. Okay. You don't call me no more. Lose my phone number, as a matter of fact. But if it's somebody that, you know, we got good conversation, whatever have you, we go on 2 or 3 dates, then somewhere in there, you know, I will put out my expectations. Then we can, if I need to go further, because I'm kind of like Renee to a big degree. For me, I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah.
I need to find out, what are you heading towards? You won't be friends with benefits. You just want to be friends. You know, you want to kick it. What we trying to do here?
Right.
I got to get married tomorrow, but you know, after 2 or 3 dates, I need to be able to gauge. Okay, what are we talking about?
What is this?
Right.
I agree with you. I ain't gonna come out on the first date and be like, yeah, this is what I want right here.
Right.
You know,
I would do that on the first.
You know what I'm saying? We probably gonna be super, super high level.
Right.
But you know, I agree, Mom. Maybe about a second or third date. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know,
you
just
feeling me, I'm feeling you. And I don't know, like maybe it could be me and you guys could help enlighten me. But like, if I have been celibate, voluntarily or involuntarily, for a number of years, I don't feel like that's information you should even offer. Like, why would I even be telling you that? Because
what's the purpose?
You're setting yourself up, because now it's like he has something to go after. If he, how many what they call them, how many partners you had, you'll never know. Only know of me and Jesus. Okay, that's who needs to know. And then maybe like once we move down the line and I see maybe this is going somewhere, we're progressing, then maybe that's probably a big maybe. I'll be able to say, yeah, you know, I haven't had intercourse or been intimate with anyone, you know, for a number of years. But I just don't think like that's the information you should offer up, because 9 times out of 10, the male probably is going to lie to you anyway about his body count and who he slept with and how long he hasn't, you know, been sexually active with someone. So don't be giving out your numbers like that. No, I've been active. That's all you need to know.
You can give out one set of numbers. I don't have HIV.
Very true.
That's true.
Now you give out them numbers.
Very true.
I'm clean. I got a clean bill of health. I don't got none of that that I came in this relationship with. So I agree with that. I mean, and I understand it's hard, you know, now just like watching y'all and watching my sister, you know, just trying to date. It is like a different tone, but I do agree. Like, if we set the expectation, because essentially they pretty much gonna kind of go, you know, whichever way you kind of want, you know, if you are who they want, right? If you are who they want, then they're gonna go ahead and they're gonna pursue that. You could pretty much tell him, hey, jump off the top of this roof, and if you who he want, he'll jump off top of the roof. Not physically, out there, not, you know what I'm just saying. But
I know what you're saying. But if you're, like you said, if you're who he wants, he's gonna do what he needs to do,
right,
to get you.
But you got to know what you want. You got to know what you want when you're going into a relationship. You need to know.
But not just in relationship. Overall, as a woman, I have to know who I am as a person. Just overall, I have to encompass the whole thing as a woman. physically, mentally, spiritually, even financially. I have to be secure in who I am.
Right.
You got to be okay with being by yourself.
Right.
If you ain't okay with being by yourself, you will never be happy with anybody. You got to be okay with being by yourself.
And some women think that if they're with somebody else, that's going to make them happy.
Yeah,
You're going to be a miserable person with another person in the room with you.
Exactly.
That's about it.
Yeah, but I'm so glad you said that, Tammy, because you are absolutely right. You have to learn how to be happy by yourself.
Yeah.
And you have to, you know what else you have to do? You have to learn how to love you.
You do.
Right.
A lot of women don't know how to love themselves.
Absolutely.
They always spending time and putting in effort into somebody else. You never really get a chance to be by yourself or know what really you appreciate. Like sometimes you realize, especially like for people who have been in marriages for a very, very long time and then have divorced, you start learning things about yourself. Like, man, I really don't like this.
Girl,
because
ain't that
that's what he likes to do, and I just took on that hobby because that's something that we did. So I really don't want to do that. So I think it's important to know what you like and be able to be by yourself and stand on your own before you can try to be happy with somebody else. Because it's just you just going through the motions at that point. It's not like really making you happy.
Right.
Absolutely.
If you're in a relationship, be happy. You know what I'm saying? Do the stuff. If you like to go, whatever, bungee jumping, he don't. That's fine. Go bungee jump by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't always have to be like attached to him, because my happiness, which I had to learn the hard way in my marriage, my happiness isn't attached to him or to my partner. I'm responsible for who I am and for my own happiness. Now, the fact that he's integrated into who I am, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
But I'm complete with who I am. As long as I'm complete with who I am, and everything else is a bonus.
Yeah, but I think some women, when they get into a relationship, they lose their self. They lose, lose their voice.
They do.
I really do.
They do.
There.
So
yeah, and you, it's important. Even if you lose it, it's important to find it. You know, and maybe some women may not even actually know that they've actually lost themselves. They can't really tell you what they really like or what they don't like, because pretty much everywhere she go, he go, or wherever he goes, she go, kind of like that. I've known a couple like that, so, when you saw one, you saw the other, but his likes become her likes. Right. And it's not the preference that she really like it, but she's just going along what he said. I mean, it's funny, but it's sad, but it's also true, like you're saying. I mean, it's just like the Coming to America movie. In the scene, well, tell me, what do you like? No, she was trying to know what he liked, and she was like, what do you like? And I think sometimes we as women, sometimes when you get married, sometimes or get in a relationship, we do that. It's whatever you like. Okay, here's another point that me and Eddie was talking about.
Wait, hold on. I got a question to that. Do you think, as we coming up, like, how we was talking about the other, how you're taught, do you think that it's something that we teach our daughters indirectly? Like, you're supposed to grow up and, you're supposed to have the house and you're supposed to get married. And so now when you become married, your full obligation to who you are is just surrounded around your family and your husband. It's not about me. I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm saying indirectly, is that, do you feel like
that can be true in some households because it's what you're doing. So I think that it's true, and not in this household though, but I think it's true. I'm not even being funny, and no disrespect to anybody who is that way, but I am very intentional in how I am around the kids.
Right.
I am very intentional about how I treat Kenny around the kids. Right. I know my personality. I have a very dominant personality. Sometimes I'm not aware of it, and sometimes I am, and I have to just shut up sometimes, like bite my tongue sometimes, because I don't want it to be like I'm the man and I'm wearing the pants. But by no means am I the docile, silent woman who just takes on everything. So I think you have to consciously have a good balance of both, because you will end up raising girls who, and again, nothing is wrong with that if that's how you roll. But it just doesn't work for me. I took on my mother's personality. My mother has a very dominant personality, and I can definitely say that I get that from her. So it's not just whatever you like. Oh, okay, what do you want? What you get to pick first, babe. You're the man of the
Right. Right.
It's equal. It's an equal.
Right.
We're good.
It's a partnership.
We're good to each other.
Right.
He does for me, and I do for him, and that's what's shown.
Right.
Right.
Oh, and I know I'm not like that either. I'm just saying, I was thinking like in hindsight, how, you know, we always, you know, not necessarily, maybe it's not even explained, because I told them on Sunday, like I'm intentional too. Like I want the fact that I have a job. Not my mom always worked, so that was never a problem. But you know what I'm saying? I want my daughter to see like you can balance both.
Right.
You can be a good wife, you know what I'm saying? And you can be a great mother, and you can still do the things it is that you want to do too. It's
Yeah.
not, I don't always have to, I mean, in past time, I think I've always, I indulge what Brian want to do. But as I got older, I'm like, no, I matter too. What I want to do. He don't want to go shop. That's your business.
Right.
You sit at home and do whatever. You want to go with your friends? I'm going with mine. And I will meet back up here at the appropriate time.
Right.
And that just kind of is what it is. So I think that we also need to be intentional about, especially with our girls, be like, you can have it all. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be like one-sided. Just because you married, you don't have to be confined by because you married and you got kids and you got a family. That don't take away the obligation of you being a woman and want to have fun.
Right.
That is very true.
Because
And now you just
kids
know
grow
that
up.
that's such and such's wife.
Right.
Right.
You know, I got a name. My name is Denise. I'm married to him.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not who I am.
Yeah,
I'm
and
just
then
married to him.
kids grow up and leave home. So
Right.
you got to have other outside interests besides that, and your alone time. You need that
Yeah.
as well. You know, for your just your general well being. Just like you said, down for whatever to focus on you and all that kind of good stuff. You know, so you have to be well rounded. I would say
Yeah. Somebody said that you must have you some me time.
it's
You do.
necessary, because sometimes that man can work
Absolutely.
the nerve, babe. It's okay, your kids, okay?
Absolutely. Like it's okay to enjoy spending time with your boo and your spouse and your kids,
Right.
family time, but sometimes I need to retreat. I need to be by myself. I don't talk.
And it happens to everybody. Whatever that looks like for you. You know?
I need to gather myself and put myself back in the Zen space, because essentially they probably stressed me out. So let me go on over here to separate myself. And it's not just with the work, you know, even sometimes with friends, I got to separate myself. Let me close the curtain for a minute.
And
then
I'll if you want me to be my best self for you, you would allow me to pour into myself right now. Let me be at one with myself before I can give it back to you. Right? And they should definitely appreciate that.
I like that a lot.
Most men I've heard say, like, the woman, they set the temperature of the whole house.
Yeah.
When you come in and you hell on wheels, or you wake up with hell in you, the whole house is miserable. Right. If you want the household to be happy at a nice 75, 76 degrees, then you need to let me spend some time with myself.
Right. Everybody go to their respective quarters.
Yeah. And don't bother me till I come out and talk to you.
Yeah.
Don't come talk to me first unless someone is dying. Someone is dying, don't come.
No, you didn't say dying, Denise, did you?
Yeah, if nothing's like seriously wrong, the house not on fire, you know, you not like bleeding out or nothing like that, leave me alone.
Right.
And I'll come find you when I'm
ready.
Right. When I've censored myself, someone's gonna come and censor yourself. When I've censored myself, then I'll come find you. But don't come find me first.
Right.
Well, everybody needs a break every now and then. So here is something that we was talking about. So when you go into a relationship, and this has happened quite a few times, especially, you know, when you decide to live together, the woman have expectation that the man is going to take care of the household, which is rightfully so. But she have no knowledge of what's going on. So when the relationship breaks up, he didn't pay for everything. Your name is not on the house of the apartment. Now you oust, and you don't know where to begin.
God bless America is all I can say.
I agree.
I ain't gonna.
You're right. God bless America, because I don't do that. I couldn't do it. If I'm going to work, even if I wasn't working, what's mine is yours. My name need to be on everything. I mean, I could be at home, a housewife, or house girlfriend, whatever you want to call it. But I need to know what the money look like, where everything at, where the insurance policy at. Is my name on? I need to know all this stuff.
And the reason I
This
said
is very
that
cool.
not too long ago, Tisha Campbell,
Yes.
when her and her husband broke up, she had $7 to her name. Seven
Ooh.
whole dollars. So it don't matter whether you're famous or you're not.
Right.
A lot of women, you know, they depend on that man for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when that relationship separates, they're left in the dark thinking they have all this stuff, money in the bank, their name is on stuff, and it's not.
Yeah.
I've personally had conversations with more than one person on the same issue. They're married in, stable relationships. But for the woman, it's like, oh yeah, he handled that. Oh yeah, girl, I don't have to worry about that. I don't think about that, as if it's a burden to know like what the finances look like, or what type of policy do you have, or you know what I mean? Where is the mortgage documents, or
Right.
what's the bank account looking like? I think it's more of that kept woman mentality. Like, he take care of this, he take care of that. I don't got to worry about it. I just do my thing and he take care of all of this, which is okay. But I kind of need to know where to stash at too, because if you don't come home one day and I'm left to handle this, now I have to bear that burden of trying to figure everything out. That's A. Or B, if you decide to up and leave me and go to one of your pregnant side chicks, and now I'm still left out here in the cold, and you've cleaned me out. Like, I think it's important for every woman to, you don't got to handle it, but you have to at least know what's going on. You got to know what's going on. And I think it's important for us as women, you got to always have a little stash in the back.
You do. I
keep your own little purse.
Yeah, you have to have a little stash in the back.
A little purse up to like
going on.
Right.
Where are the documents? Because, like you said, a spouse or your man, whoever, could pass away or something tragic could happen, but you know nothing. You don't know how to pay a bill. You don't know, like I said, what the finances look like. You know nothing.
But here is something that would probably be so detrimental to a woman. You didn't spend 25 years of your life. You didn't provided this man with kids. He didn't taking care of you. He's giving you a house, and then he expires. And in his expiration, only to find out that what you thought was yours, he willed over to somebody else, and you got to vacate the premises.
My Lord.
Yeah.
Say it again, family, for the people
My
in the back.
Lord.
And it has happened.
It has happened.
It does happen. It really does.
And so I think we as women sometimes set our own self up.
We do.
For the hardship that we endure in life, because there is no way, if you love me enough, I'm going to this relationship, and you can pay the bills, you can pay the insurance policy, you can pay the more, you pay all that, but I want to see, if you don't give me the main pay, I need a copy. I want to go see my name. I want to see the insurance policy. I want to know the bank account, and my name needs to be up under your name as well. So I can know, because I'm not going to be sitting in the dark and have something that catch me off guard by surprise. I done spent all this time with you, and I'm thinking I'm okay and secure, and then you pass, and this other woman comes up that I done put 25 years in my life, and she's snatching in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to jail with I'm wearing me an orange one piece.
A jumpsuit.
But that's how people snap.
It is.
Yeah.
It is how they snap.
This is very true, but like you said, that stuff like that happens. It's not anything that obviously you think would ever happen to you, but then again, you never really know. You never know what's going on if you don't know what's going on. Like,
that's true. And husband or not, wife or not, partner or not, I've learned never put nothing past nobody.
People change.
All the time.
They
change all the time, man. What you thought you knew ain't really your reality.
Especially when you have emotions in it. People become totally opposite.
Totally
opposite. they become somebody who you never even thought you would meet. So you have
Never.
to consider, you have to kind of keep that in the back of your mind.
That
Absolutely.
little click back there that be like tick, 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 tick. Listen to him back there because he know what he talking about back there.
Yeah.
This
Especially
is very
when
true.
finances start to increase.
Yes.
And he's the breadwinner. He's starting to make more money. So then sometimes they start feeling themselves.
Yes.
You know, and they try
Yeah.
to tell you, well, I'll take care of the household, and all you do is clean up. So you do what I say. Well, first of all, so you're not my daddy. That's number one. Second off, get your voice right. Check yourself. Check that little tone at the door. We ain't going with that one. But a lot of women is okay with that.
They are.
Yeah.
And they passive and they like, okay, well, you right, babe. You do pay the bills. You do that. No, ma, no.
Yeah. This is true.
We can pay
Yeah.
these bills together if you feeling that pressed, okay?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So
Which is why I ain't never gonna be without a job. Thank you, God. Because the minute you get froggy, you know, and you feel like you want to leave, get your coat and your hat, and that go to front door. Okay? I've been there before. Bye. See you later.
Yeah.
May the good Lord God bless you real good. Okay?
On the
Heaven
way
smile upon you. Out that door. And you can go out.
but a lot of women can't do that, though, Denise.
A lot of women can't, and it takes some time, I will say, to get there, because when I first got married, I was really passive, but I had to like learn, like, and you know, things happen. I was like, never again. I love him to death. I cross the ocean for him. But at any given minute, he decides that he want to go, you can go, because I can afford to stay here by myself. I don't need,
Yeah.
I want you. I don't need you. That's the difference. I don't need you to stay here. I want you to stay here. But in the
Yeah.
event you don't want to stay here, there's the door.
I don't need the
Usher
force.
yourself out. Usher yourself out the door.
Pretty much.
Decent and in order.
Right.
With a smile. I done freed you and let you go. That's
Right.
that's
Because I'm like you said, I'm not in the business of keeping no man who don't want to be kept. If you want to be kept, then
Preach,
I have
girl.
no problem with that.
Yeah.
But I ain't finna keep you if you don't want to be kept. Go on about your business.
I always
And
say I
go there with
don't want
Susan.
no man who don't want me.
Right.
I'm not one of those. I'm gonna beg you to stay, and whatever you want me to do, I'm gonna do it. No, push on. That's okay. I'm
That's
just,
Grandma
I'm
said,
just
never-
And I'm not going to accept what it is that you trying to give me just because
Right.
I need you. And I think that kind of goes back to like having that independence. Now,
Right.
I don't like the work. I don't know nobody who like the work.
right.
I complain every day that I work, but I'm
Right.
not going to leave my job because I know its value. I know the things that it's helped me to do. And I
Right.
know it's going to help to sustain me in the event that
Right.
he decides not to be here. Right. I'm
Right.
not going to force him to leave, but I'm not going to make him stay either because he's the
Right.
breadwinner. So even
Right.
if you have those women who don't have to work, God bless them. I wish that I could be one of them.
Right.
I'm still going to take a little something off the top and put it on the bottom for my benefit if you decide to leave. I'm just
Right.
not going to be totally dependent on
Right. On you.
anybody to take care of me. Yeah.
Right.
That doesn't sit right with me at all.
Right.
well, look, I stand on the corner with a cup first.
Not a corner with a cup, though.
I'm just saying. Women will do what they have to do.
This,
That's true.
True. Understand me when I say you're gonna do what you got to do to survive, and if you have kids, you definitely gonna do what you have to do,
That's
especially
true.
younger kids, to survive. So I just pray that these conversations that we're having will enlighten some women, and you may look at some things, because a lot of women out here, this is what they deal with. This is what they deal with, and they don't pay attention to that. Hence why they end up being, like I said, in shock. And I can't believe that he did that to me. Well, why not?
Don't
Why
push
not?
nobody.
Absolutely.
So you have to prepare yourself. You have to know what your expectations are. You have to know what type of man you want to be with. You got to know what kind of friends you want to have. It's a lot of stuff when you're going into a relationship, not just with another, the male part. You can have friendship. You still need to have expectations out of that friendship.
True.
Because some friendships are not healthy neither.
Some of them are
That's
not.
true.
You need to cut those off. So, and then when you're going into relationships, don't jump so quick into things before you check out
Right.
the ground that you're standing on first. You know, I know some of us want to be in a relationship really desperately, but some relationships are not worth being in where you got to sacrifice who you are as a woman.
True.
That's true.
And then make sure that you talk about these finances going in.
Yeah.
Because this
It's
is one
important.
topic that we
Very
don't
important.
discuss when it comes down to relationship is the finances.
Right. And then you definitely need to discuss that.
And finances are important.
Because that's right after Jesus for me.
I'm just saying.
That's one of the top reasons that they say relationships fail,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
marriages,
One
is
of the top
because of
reasons
the
why.
finances.
Yeah.
I never understood that before, but that's one of the top reasons
That's
that
one of the
people
top reasons.
quit.
Yeah. So somebody said marriage is work and it takes two. Communication is key, and most importantly, putting God first.
Absolutely.
Very absolutely true.
Absolutely.
So that is true. So on that last comment, we're going to round this up for part 2
All right.
of the expectations of a woman. And I think this was a great conversation on tonight. And I thank everybody for being a part. Tammy, Denise, and my lovely sexy sister over here with this good looking hair she got going on.
Yes,
And all
Yes, come through, hair.
I love it.
she popping.
Hair.
She living her best life in 2021.
That's right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, both of y'all got the hair. Yes.
Right. Come on, hair.
I thank y'all for being a part. And don't forget, every Tuesday, we are highlighting women in business at 7:30. And I want you to invite a woman into support. And next Wednesday, we'll be back for part 3 of the expectations of a woman. And make sure you all check out the website, toawomensheart.com, and all the social media outlets. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and subscribe to the YouTube channel because some things will be on YouTube only. All right, so I want to thank my ladies for being a part of this lovely conversation on this evening. I'm going to take you out the stream. Hold on, ladies.
Well, that concludes another episode of To a Woman's Heart, where we uplift, motivate, encourage, and empower women. We do thank you for joining. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media outlets. That is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm asking that every woman would invite a woman. Wednesdays, we will be back at 7:30 having conversations. On Tuesday at 7:30, we are highlighting women in business. And please do check out the website, toawomensheart.com. Let us spread love. We're walking in greatness this year, building, bonding, and believing in sisterhood, working on becoming our better, best selves. Until we talk again.